Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. Attention XRP holders, this is just absurd. A lot of major developments have been occurring in this area recently, with the SEC providing the most recent update on their plans to target Ripple, as well as other companies like Debtbox and Library. We did, in fact, hear that the SEC was investigating a hypothesis, including a consensus on Theorem 2.0 and others. Additionally, we have received some significant new information regarding this, which we will discuss and address in due course. On the other hand, I'd like to spend most of my time explaining to you how this impacts Ripple. For XRP, what does this mean? Also, is there still a lot of corruption going on in this area? So, the SEC will not be bringing allegations that the sale of Ethereum constitutes a transaction involving securities. In a letter dated June 7th, we requested the SEC to confirm that the ETF approvals on May 8th were based on ETH being a commodity, meaning the agency would conclude its Theorem 2.0 investigation. As a reminder, we were informed that the ETFs should be fully approved by September, with this assurance coming directly from Harry Gensler, the chair of the SEC. In my opinion, it's for the best that they did submit the letter. But the theorem's conclusion is at our fingertips. Looking into this is a huge deal. However, this will not alleviate the suffering of the numerous blockchain developers, technology providers, and industry participants who have been affected by the SEC's harsh and illegal crypto enforcement policies. We are still fighting this battle in court. Also, we need a ruling saying that providing the software for the user interface, the securities laws do not prohibit MetaMask swaps or staking. A lawsuit is the wrong way to get the regulatory certainty that a sector needs to grow. That industry is the foundation of many new technologies and advances. Nevertheless, we have arrived at this point. For the sake of openness, listen now. That's great with me. This is fantastic, in my opinion. As a whole, I believe it's beneficial to the sector. Who, then, would find this unethical? Unfortunately, this is bad news for the XRP network and Ripple in general. Since XRP was required to endure this long-awaited struggle with the SEC for 2.5 years before receiving any form of resolution or significant upgrade, I find the whole thing to be technically flawed. Additionally, I believe this was announced on Consensus's Twitter account. That is, according to their April 25th announcement, that they will be suing the SEC. When exactly did the SEC bring this litigation to a consensus? I completely lost track of time. It was probably a few months, though. I believe this was announced in January, although I could be mistaken. The turnaround time, nevertheless, was really brief. Then I'm like, what the fuck? Have you considered XRP? My God, the SEC is in utter chaos right now. Fred Rispoli has also provided us with an update. Reason being, things are starting to become a bit twisted. We have, even if it is great to not be investigated by the SEC, this investigation's conclusion might not imply much in terms of substance. The consensus dispute in Texas's district court is ongoing, and we know why because of the post below. Both of these cases and the SEC enforcement action are identical in substance. The parties' respective positions and the burden of evidence are the sole distinguishing features. You would have thought the SEC would try to get the Texas case thrown out and bring an enforcement complaint against us in a more favorable jurisdiction. However, it seemed improbable. What happens to the Texas case now? If consensus dismisses it, we're back to square one, just as we were before the investigation was publicized, or more precisely, started. If consensus persists, though, we're in a similar position. Just this time, there won't be any danger of civil fines, penalties, or jail time. The litigation will focus on the same issues. If the enforcement action had involved filed, the subsequent events will shed light on the SEC's true stance as a public entity against ETH. Let me be really forthright with you. In my opinion, it seems like a theory is going to get away with it this time. We know that the ETF approvals we are confirming were confirmed back in May. So why is Chair Gary Gensler claiming that the Ether ETFs should be fully approved by September? Even within these ETF discussions, the question of whether Ethereum is a commodity is being answered. Their foundation is the idea that ETH is a commodity. Getting the Ether ETFs approved would, in any case, nullify the whole SEC argument. That is why, despite the fact that the concept of maybe it's going to get thrown out, I believe that a lot of this will remain. I believe it's merely a wash. In my opinion, that is an absurd argument. Because I maintain my belief that the SEC will simply give it a pass, I see this as pointless. Beyond this, though, there is the matter of the SEC attorney's repeated and persuasive arguments throughout the Coinbase hearing regarding the security of digital assets and ecosystems. However, they have now admitted that ETH, which consists of digital assets and an ecosystem, is not a security. So now what? I am kidding. Do it again. It makes me feel ashamed. And that's the crux of the matter, isn't it? This, my friend, is the issue. Ethereum versus Ripple is irrelevant to us. Differences between Ripple and consensus don't concern me. Nothing about that interests me. There seems to be a major issue here, in my opinion. Worst of all, nobody knows what the SEC is up to, which is a major concern. I don't understand what they are doing. How do they feel about it? Why is this happening? Regarding the SEC rules, litigation, and all that jazz, I've personally pushed you guys with every single significant upgrade. No matter how much I try to understand the subject, the SEC always seems to be completely confused. I get the impression that they are taking a position against cryptocurrency. If that is the case, however, I do not believe that to be the case. Before he even set foot in the SEC, Gary Gensler made it clear on crypto. As if he had performed a complete about-face, he is now a member of the SEC. Not only that, but we are aware of this. Now tell me what's happening. But it seems like XRP is facing yet another problem presently. California court uses BRICS in case of likely to return to trial. The New York equivalent has sent Ripple's securities complaint to trial. Down here, we may observe a civil case involving securities accusations against Brad Garlin, CEO of Ripple, which is scheduled to go to trial in California. The court in the case rejected multiple additional claims. Here we have the main focus. The plaintiff's allegations that Garlinghouse broke California securities laws in 2017 by selling millions of XRP on multiple cryptocurrency exchanges, while falsely claiming to be extremely long XRP. The thing that makes it funny to me is that Vitalik was also selling a lot of Ethereum. He went so far as to say that at the peak of the 2017 to 2018 bull run. Now tell me what's happening. For some reason, Ethereum keeps getting the green light, but XRP is always in the wrong. I am uncertain. This is absolutely absurd, in my opinion. The video ends there. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy it. Coming up shortly, farewell.